In this video I want to show you how to change the dampers on the Mod 1. And the first step we want to do is we want to make sure that we remove the ink bags, because if you don't do that, the ink will flow through and make a mess. So first thing we want to do is remove the ink bags. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to push this green button one time. At this point the head's going to move out and pause. Once it pauses for a couple seconds, go ahead and just force it out into the center. At this point we're going to go ahead and turn the printer off, which would be the switch right here. The 1 is on, the 0 is off, so we'll make sure it's set into the 0 position. Now we want to take the mod damper plate off of the head here, the carriage. And then if it's whichever side it is, this is a damper block, so there's 4 dampers connected at one time. So we'll just go ahead and grab it right here and pull it straight up. And what we'll do is we're going to turn it up like this. Now when we touch the sides here, ink can flow, so you just want to be careful to try to pull it straight up. Sometimes if you want to put a rag under here, that could also keep it clean. And then under here we have 2 screws, and all we're going to do is loosen it. And we're going to slide this plate out like this. And whichever damper it is, all we're going to do is just loosen it from the little slot here, and we're going to pull it straight out. And then we're going to unscrew it right here. And then we would just grab a second damper. Now this doesn't have to be super tight. You do want to make sure that it is on straight. And again, we're going to do the same thing, and we're just going to reverse the process. We're going to make sure everything, all of these are secure in this block. And the washers are what is going to hold it in place. And once it's secure, we can go ahead and just screw it back on. Now at this point, if you have a small syringe, you can push it down into the end here and pull some ink out and prime it, but you'd have to have the ink bags back on. What I like to do is I just like to go ahead and put it back together as we see it, and we'll just make sure when we push it down that it is in place. We're just going to reverse the process. Make sure it's secure. You don't have to tighten this down too much, because the tighter that you bring this down, the more forward all these dampers are going to come. So all we want to do is just make sure that it's snug without too much pressure. And that would be it. So what we'd do is just reverse the process. We'd power it back on. The head's going to automatically home and park. At that point, I would go ahead and put the ink bags back on, and then we would use the video. There's a video on how to remove air from the dampers, and so you could use that method, or if you've already primed it, you should be able to just run the head clean and just continue on.